What's going on, people? Zap here, and it has been well over a week since I last brought you a YouTube video. I think it's been almost 2 weeks now, right? Or something along those lines. But I'm a father. I work. I have a lot of other things on my plate at the moment, and I'm just kind of like just been dialing back from social media and doing all these things on the internet and just kind of getting out there and enjoying life outside of the computer screen. So yeah, man, I'm back and I'm just in time for this Overwatch beta, and I'm here to give you guys my general impressions of the Overwatch beta. Now, keep in mind that I had pretty much no knowledge of what this game was really about. All I knew was that it was a first-person shooter. It was made by Blizzard, and it had elements of like MOBA and other class-based shooters like Team Fortress or something like that. That's really all I knew about this game. So I didn't really have any negative opinions about it, and I didn't have any overly positive opinions about it. I just kind of was like, all right, we'll see what this game is all about, and I had a pretty open mind going into it. So I got home from work and I downloaded it. It was about a 4.5 or something like that gig. It was almost 5 gigs, and it downloaded relatively quickly. My friend Ray, he got the Xbox One version of the beta, and his took quite a bit longer to download and install. I don't know if that was for everyone or whatever the case was on the Xbox One, but his took a lot longer, whereas mine on the PS4 really only took a few minutes. So I don't know, man. Let me know what you guys' experience was downloading this beta. And maybe, I don't know, maybe the file size was different. Like, how big is the file on the Xbox One? Let me know. Yeah, let's go ahead and talk about some of the things with this beta. Visually, let's talk about the visuals. Graphically, it's being heavily compared to, a Team Fortress style. I could kind of see that. Just from an art style standpoint, lots of very bright and vibrant colors. Some of the maps, like in certain aspects of the terrain, you kind of see similarities with, Team Fortress and the whole dust and desert type of thing that they had going with TF2. But I think that's relatively where it stops. I feel as though visually the game, although it's clean, I think the character models kind of are a drag, and they're rather uninspired. I think, especially with the male characters. The male characters are just kind of, I don't know, they're just bland, and they're just parodies, or they're just stereotypes. You know what I mean? You've got, the black dude with the dreads who like rides around on roller skates, and he's saying things like drop the beat or something like that when he does an ability. It's kind of corny. You got your Asian samurai guy that I don't know, he has a sword and he has freaking bow and arrow or whatever the case may be, and then you've got like your Western dude who's like draw or whatever, and it's rather corny, and the male character designs are rather uninspired, at least in my opinion anyway. The female characters, you can kind of see that they put a little bit more effort into their designs, at least some of them, not all of them. I think Tracer, her design is relatively boring, and Widowmaker, hers is kind of bland, but the other female characters I thought were pretty well done. You got some characters that actually show some personality, like the character I play in particular, Zarya. I think they did a pretty decent job with her. She's this tall, kind of hulking, Russian Amazon-esque chick, but she has like really feminine. She has a really feminine face and bright pink hair, and I think she's actually really, really, really nice to play and to listen to, and I think they really did a really good job. And there are a few other characters within this game that you can see that they put a little bit more effort into them as opposed to the rest of the cast. So visually, like the graphics and the way the maps are designed, I think they're okay. And character-wise, I think there's more that could have been done, which I doubt is going to be done at this point. I think they're pretty much done with this game. But Yeah, man. I think visually, the game is it's pretty appealing to the eye. Um, let's talk about the controls, right? One of the first things I noticed was that I can't aim down the sights with my gun, right? Unless your gun has like a scope, or if you're using like the bow and arrow, you cannot actually aim down your sights. So there's a lot of hip fire that goes on. Now, with that being said, if you're playing this game on a controller, at least for me, and this is my own opinion, it feels like everything's like blocky. It doesn't feel smooth. I'm pretty sure the PC guys, they don't really have this problem too much, because the freedom of having a mouse and keyboard, PC Master Race, but if you're using a controller, like everything just kind of feels really square when you're trying to aim. And since you can't actually aim down sights and you're hip firing a lot, like having that square aim reticle, and you'll probably be able to notice it in my aiming in this video, it just seems really clunky. And moving and aiming and doing all these things, it just seems really clumsy. And I've tried experimenting with different look sensitivities, and I just couldn't find one that felt perfect. So I settled on the one that I had in this video. But even then, it still doesn't feel 100% right. So I don't know, man. I feel like the movement in this game is just really, really clumsy, and I feel like they could have worked on it just a little bit more. Um, Gunplay in this game is, again, because of that, is very finicky. You could probably have a really strong and powerful weapon, but aiming is just too much of a pain in the ass. So yeah, man, I hope that they can adjust that somehow, maybe before the game's final release, but we'll see. As far as the characters, like their abilities and things like that, I mentioned that it was supposed to have like some sort of MOBA element. It kind of does, but it really doesn't at its core. I mean, you have like special abilities, and then you have your ultimate ability. All of your abilities have cooldown timers, and your ultimate, of course, takes a lot longer to charge up. Your ultimate is your one strong, powerful attack that's character specific. So, like for my character Zarya, she deals with magnets. So she shoots this big magnetic ball that pulls people in. It's like a vortex. So anybody in that vortex gets sucked in, and they can't move for a particular amount of time, which allows my teammates to just run in and just shoot these people while they can't move. They can still shoot back, but they just can't move. So everybody has their own set of abilities. But as far as like having your abilities and having the cooldown timer, that's really all there is as far as like similarities. You don't level up these abilities through the game. You get them at the start, and you just play using those abilities. So, in some cases, you kind of feel like you're picking a particular character class. There are multiple characters in one particular class, but they all have their own different like loadouts. So you almost feel like you're just picking a loadout rather than picking a particular character. You understand what I'm saying? So yeah, that kind of like takes it away from me, and eliminates the kind of MOBA style that I like. So yeah, man, it's pretty crazy. I see what they were trying to do, because taking away the choices of using skill points to level up certain abilities and things like that, it takes away the level of difficulty that MOBAs have, and allows more casual audience to get into it. So I see what they were doing there, but I kind of liked having to level up my character and their abilities, because it gives you something else to work for in the game itself. What else is there to like discuss? I mean, the game itself, it's all right. Like, it's not absolutely terrible, but it's not something that I personally would spend like $60 on. You know what I mean? Some people were like, I'll settle for it when it's like $40, or I'm getting the PC version for $40 or something like that. And I'm like, I'd rather get it for cheaper or something like that. But me personally, not $60. I don't see this game as being like $60 worth. But I could definitely see the potential with this game, depending on what they decide to do with it. Them being Blizzard, I think they can really expand on this and make this game absolutely amazing. Some of the game types I actually do enjoy. I like the concepts of them, although the escort missions can be a little bit crazy. Like when you have to escort a payload from point A to point B, that can be a little bit annoying. But it's a great game if you have a bunch of friends and you want to get on and play. But for me, I was kind of hoping that it would have a little bit more of a learning curve to it. But yeah, man, I can totally see it. Just because it's a Blizzard game, it's gonna pick up a huge audience. This game is gonna be huge, and I feel really, really bad for Battleborn because it's like it's gonna completely fly under the radar. But yeah, man, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you enjoying Battleborn? What did you like and did not like about the game? And I'll see you guys next Friday for Doom. Later.